What do people not take seriously enough? Joint health. Bruh, take care of your fucking joints. Stairs. It's all fun and games until you miss a step, fall down, tear multiple muscles, require surgery, months of physical therapy, thousands of dollars in expenses even with insurance, and all just to get back to 90% of your pre-injury mobility. Sounds like a slippery slope. Physical health. It's amazing to see how ignorant or careless people are when it comes to exercise and nutrition. The level of childhood obesity, lifelong illnesses and mental health issues linked to inactivity is scary. You're not required to train and eat like an elite athlete to be healthy, but small changes in diet and introducing a small amount of exercise can make a huge difference to your life and your future prospects. Just adding this in because a few people have mentioned struggling to get into exercise. It doesn't have to be structured like going to the gym or joining a sports team. You can try increase your activities of daily living, which is things like walking to and from work/school/shops. It doesn't even have to be the whole way. It can be as simple as getting off a stop earlier or parking a few extra minutes away to get a walk in. With regard to mental health, exercise has been shown to help reduce the symptoms and impacts of stress, anxiety and depression. This will obviously vary for every individual, but the link has been shown. It also helps improve sleep, which is a major factor on stress and anxiety. Their knees. Once they're buggered, you can kiss your mobility and independence goodbye, or you can spend huge sums of money on surgery. Look after them, you only get one set. Oh man, I hear you on this one. My only predicament: how does one take better care of their knees? Being overworked. It's just the job. No, you shouldn't be expected to work 10+ hours day in day out. The current meta for working is horrifically unhealthy, quite literally work to death. People say to work hard now till you retire, at which point your physical and mental health has probably deteriorated to which you cannot enjoy your wealth. Their physical health. Many people are ignorant to the fact that our bodies are machines that need to be maintained. All the neglect will cause our bodies to break down, in the form of sickness and disease. Death. As in, less than a third of my friends over 40 years of age have even thought about getting a will drafted and notarized. You might be in good health now, but you might also get blindsided by a drunk driver on your way home from work. Distracted driving. Driving in general actually. Parenting. It's not about sheltering and providing every little thing they need. You're not their vending machine. It's about teaching them and equipping them with the knowledge and the tools to make it on their own and to be a good person. What their current actions can do to their futures, good or bad. Heart disease. I have family members that spend hours and hours practicing shooting guns and planning for the remote chance of a home invasion, but are severely overweight, never exercise, and haven't been to the doctor in years. Not littering. It breaks my heart how little people care. Moving water. A real answer. 3 inches of moving water is enough to knock you off your feet and drown you. Local politics generally affect the lives of you and your family to a far greater extent than national politics, but since they aren't as flashy, they're generally controlled by retirees. Schools, roads, local environmental ordinances, and countless other important decisions are made at the local level. Unfortunately, it takes a bit of Googling to figure out what the structure of local elections are, and what issues local candidates care about, but everyone should do it. It can really help or harm your community. The importance of hand washing. Antibiotic resistance. And GT, use the bathroom. And GT, touch phone while using toilet. And GT, put phone in pocket. And GT, flush toilet. And GT, wash hands EU germs. And GT, touch phone again. And GT, eat while touching phone. And GT, just suck tone dick. Brushing their fucking teeth. It's worth it, people. Their own education. Parking lot etiquette. We live in a society, people. Saving and investing for retirement. I think a lot of people want to take it seriously, they just can't afford to. Eating disorders. Eating a burger won't magically make me not anorexic. As a former anorexic, a burger won't stop you from being anorexic, but it can get you through today alive. And your best chance at getting through tomorrow is to get through today. Hugs. Animals going extinct, particularly our vulnerable and endangered animals endemic to Australia. Recent studies estimate 58% of all wildlife has died since 1970. The UN has warned 1 million species are at risk of extinction. We are in an extinction event that is 10 to 100 times the rate of any other extinction on Earth, save the giant impact event. It seems like an exaggeration, but it isn't. We are currently undergoing, at least, the second fastest extinction in the planet's history. Bringing kids into this world by choice when you're not mentally, emotionally and financially capable of taking care of them properly. The decline of the bee population. I agree. I work at an elementary school where there are bee traps set up all around to kill them because the bees scare the kids. The bees starting moving in once houses started being built around the school and the fields were destroyed. A couple kids were stung, parents complained, and now hundreds of bees die every week here. I brought it up to the principal, but she said it was necessary because of school safety. It breaks my heart when I see the bees trying to get out of the traps, but they never will. Mental health. Illnesses and disabilities they cannot see. It's all in your head. Yeah, turns out that my head controls everything else in my body. It's funny. Privacy. How crippling debt can be. Flossing habits. The warning signs of someone who is suicidal. The bees. Antibiotic resistance. You can't take azithromycin for every little thing that ails you, and it's just going to lead to more deaths from superbugs that are resistant to everything. Being nearly deaf. For example, in school the past years, you don't wear glasses even if you are supposed to? Oh yeah, sure, no problem, I'm sorry. You can't hear anything at all? Listen more carefully and stop talking to your mates, or if I ask kindly to repeat it they usually just reply listen better next time and don't repeat themselves. And yes, they all know about it. It was so annoying to deal with. Doesn't matter where you are, they immediately always judge you for not listening and being lazy, even though this was never the case. Sadly, most likely nothing will ever happen about it because people can't see it, and being nearly deaf is so rare people don't take it seriously. Drinking culture. People think it's okay to go out and get wasted 2 to 5 times a week, and it's just the norm. You are literally pouring poison into your body that will eventually cause irreparable damage. And when you make the choice not to drink, people act like it's a personal insult to them. I've had many occasions when I've been offered a drink and I refuse and the person tries to force me to drink it. Or in a group setting when everyone is drinking, multiple people will come up to me and act annoyed that they have never seen me drink. It drives me up the wall. I don't mind if others drink, but in the end it's not a healthy pastime and I don't want to do it to myself. People should respect that. Wearing a seatbelt. Fiscal responsibility. Speaking from experience, nobody really warns you how easy it is to fall thousands in debt just in 1 year's time. You should save before you move out, and no matter what your housemate or SO say, you should never spend more money than you have just because you're confident you can pay it back. Because if you wind up not being able to, the snowball accumulates very quick. All it took for myself was 1 month of letting the fiancé spend a little extra, and then she failed to pay it back on next rent. Then internet didn't get paid. Tried to keep the apartment, so we fell behind on the car payment, had to pay on that so we didn't lose the car, and then couldn't pay rent again. Could have been avoided had I either had a backup emergency fund or had I simply said no to my SO when she wanted to overspend. PTSD. Sunburns. Lack of sleep. Not a lot of people will take me seriously, but the Indian education system, or any other education system resembling it, should be taken seriously. People criticize America's education system a lot, but it's still better than anything here. Mental health awareness, and it's okay to open up about depression/anxiety. I swear, I have seen like 3 suicide attempts here in Manila. Sadly, most are students and young professionals. It's sad that mental health has been stigmatized to something bad. Long-term financial planning such as saving for retirement. I know people who make good money but save nothing in their 401k and instead inflate their lifestyle as much as possible with the most expensive house, car, etc. they can afford. Gonna be a rough road ahead if you spend your 30s and 40s not saving anything for the future. The fact you can get serious compensation if you or a loved one have been diagnosed with mesothelioma. Our attitude towards homelessness. Basic personal hygiene. There are 1,440 minutes in a day. It takes 10 of those to have a quick shower and pop some deodorant on. Men being raped. Loud noise exposure. Tinnitus has no cure. Child abuse. Swept under the rug and ignored consistently. The toll that prolonged stress can take. We get so used to stress that we don't even really consciously realize what it's doing to us and therefore believe it's a sign of weakness. It doesn't have to be stress caused by huge upheavals. Little stressors over time can end up severely impacting your mental and physical health because we don't recognize it or respect ourselves enough to take action. Giving yourself small breaks or meditating once in a while is great, but it doesn't make up for the damage that prolonged stress does to you over the course of years. Making real, impactful changes to our lives is hard and goes against many of the things especially millennials are taught. Always got to be hustling, just suck it up. Your failures are your own 100% of the time and your life situation has nothing to do with it. Bullshit. Take care of yourself and demand what you need. Apologizing properly. It's not, "I'm sorry you feel that I hurt you." It's, "I'm sorry I hurt you." Now, some emotionally abusive folks will want you to apologize for everything. That's not okay. But owning up to your errors and accepting responsibility is something that I don't think gets taken seriously enough. Driving in general. It's like they forget how much awesome it gets in accidents. Some people drive way too aggressive, they drive too close to you, don't respect the speed limit, in fact they don't respect any of the other drivers at all. It's scary. Edit, Gorsome, not Gordon lol. Helmets. I snowboard and have fallen on patches of ice that blend in perfectly with the snow. It hurt with a helmet on, it can kill you without. Also replace your helmet after big hits. Warning signs. Mostly the literal ones. The ones that tell you not to get close to the edge. Don't stand on the black rocks, don't go close to geysers. So many people die doing things that the signs tell them not to. It's why there are fences all over the place now. And why we don't get nice things. Stay off the black rocks. Guys, watch Tour Blood Pressure. 1 year ago, I came home from work and going to sleep. I stand near mirror in my room, and next moment I was lying on floor. I tried to smile in mirror and only half of my farchi was smiling. I have an insult. I called ambulance, and have a brain surgery, but still, my left side of body aren't moving, and I must use wheelchair to move around, so I'm careful. It's simple, but very important. Taking the time to figure out the difference between someone who is difficult and someone toxic. Dealing with difficult people, or just people who are difficult for one to handle once in a while, is a part of life, and learning to deal with it is important to get pretty much anything someone might really want. On the other hand, toxic people are to be avoided and sometimes no benefit conferred by being in any sort of relationship, work, romantic, social, with that person is worth staying in. Sometimes people jump ship too quickly, sometimes they stay in bad situations way too long. Their health. So many people don't really worry about their health and put so many other things in front of their health till they hit middle age and the problems start coming at them one after another. Driving. There are an insane amount of shitty drivers out there who don't seem to take the rules of the road seriously in any way. Then you have people racing and playing other stupid games. Cars aren't toys. They're basically death machines. Stop fucking around, put down your damn phone and learn how to fucking drive properly before you kill someone.